you may be getting featured in publications and articles and magazines and websites without even knowing it. I get featured all the time in publications. I'm quoted, I am featured, and none of this is with my knowledge or my consent, but I find out that I have been represented in these articles with one simple free resource tool that is actually from Google that has changed my ability to know what I'm talked about on the internet. This is called Google Alerts, and it's google.com/alerts. It is free to everybody, and all you have to do is go and type in your name. So you're going to type in your first and last name. If you have a business name, you can type that in as well. If you are an author and you have a book, type in the name of your book. If you are a course creator and you've got a course title, you can put that in as well. Anything that's going to be directly attributed to you and not going to pull in a bunch of extra results. And when Google finds your name in the internet, they're going to send you an email and say, hey, this has your name in it. Now, they don't catch everything, and sometimes they send you things that are not you. So if somebody has the same name, you might get stuff about them. If you are going to be using initials like me, you might get some other weird things. My name is K.M. Robinson. KM is kilometers. So there's a lot that, sometimes I get it once in a while, or if people are using abbreviations or things, sometimes I get stuff that just doesn't make sense. But it has alerted me to so many publications like People Magazine, like Yahoo Life. I have been in so many places and not known about it because they never reached out to me. They never had a conversation with me. They never sent these things to me. I just got that Google alert, went and found out that they had taken my words from my videos or from my TikTok page or from comments that I had made on social media. They're using my words, my website, my videos, my stuff, and creating conversation around that. So that's a really good opportunity for me to be able to see where I am featured. This way, I can grab that logo, put it on my website under the As Seen On section, and now I've been featured in People Magazine. I was talked about in Yahoo Life. I was talked about in all these different publications. And don't get me wrong, a lot of publications do reach out to me. They get actual quotes. They have actual interviews. There are actual legitimate conversations being had before I am featured in a lot of these places. But some places just grab my information and toss me up as one of their quoted people or their featured people or about me and my career. Now, another really nice thing about Google Alerts is that it shows me when people are talking about me. So if somebody has pirated one of my novels, I'm a fiction writer, I now know that this company has pirated my book and is selling it probably with some kind of spam, malware, horrible thing attached to it. And I can send a cease and desist. So this lets me know the good, the bad, and the in-between. If somebody's talking about you, you're probably going to find out. And if that's a good thing, great. And if it's a bad thing, that's something that you can then address and handle as it starts to come up before it gets too out of control. So while it does not catch everything, it does catch enough to be incredibly worth it. And it is free, so it's absolutely worth it. I get information pinging back on my course names and my book titles and on my name all the time. In fact, it depends on what you have put in there. So don't go with big, broad terms. Anything that's going to be super broad probably won't get you great results. Or again, if your name is the same as everybody else's, then you might have a little bit of an issue with that. But that's something you should think of from the branding perspective. You are going to get more and less results depending on what you are doing. So one of my courses has some bigger, broader terms that other people sometimes use in the course of just conversation. So sometimes I get wildly mixed results from that one. But for my name, I typically get things that are me and then miscommunications of those first initial letters and the last name in conjunction with things in a list that aren't connected, but they think it's connected on Google. So I typically get pretty good results from most things, but you can fine tune what you are looking for. You can turn things on and off, and you can do specifically your name, your business name, and anything that is connected directly to you in terms of your IP and things like that. And you can see what's going to work best for you from there. And that will help you to see when you are quoted in different publications. Now, I will say this, even if you do not anticipate being quoted in different publications, you never know when you're going to get quoted. Multiple times now, more than once, I have been quoted because I commented on somebody else's TikTok video, and their video was interesting enough that somebody made an article out of it, and they quoted me to support what that person was saying inside of their video to have the conversation inside of the article. So just because I probably shouldn't have been quoted in some of these things, or I wasn't the main source, they did come into my TikTok comments on somebody else's video and just grabbed it and slapped my name on it with the thing that I had typed in the comments, just chatting with the creators that I like. So you never know when you are going to be featured, when you're going to be quoted, when you're going to be mentioned, and all of those things are really, really good for you to then grab those logos, put as your as seen on section of your website, and making sure that you can then potentially develop a relationship with those people so you can maybe get an article for yourself. Or maybe your video could be featured, or all sorts of things. So you establish a relationship with that and help them to market the articles that they put out, depending on what it is and how ethical those are. You have the opportunity to then build that into even more things for your career that can benefit you. So Google Alerts, fantastic tool and resource for you to use. I use it all the time, and I have been notified so many times where I've been featured, quoted, and mentioned in these articles, magazines, websites, etc., to make sure that I know where I'm being talked about on the internet and that I can then leverage that in my marketing when it is appropriate. Drop your questions down below on how to thrive as an influencer, as a content creator, and as a small business owner, and we'll continue to bring you great tools and resources just like this. In fact, we've got a whole playlist of technology and resources that is going to help you thrive as a content creator and small business owner. So make sure you go through those playlists and then let me know your questions as we continue to help you navigate the world of entrepreneurship to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress, overwhelm, and time commitment making your content. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.